I tell you what, it's kind of, I don't know, it's reassuring to know that I can just come down here and pick some weeds and have something to eat. Welcome back to the homestead. I want to give you a quick tour of our kitchen garden and look at the other gardens and just kind of bring you up to date on what we're doing around here as far as growing our own food. Thanks for joining me today. Let's take a look. Our main fertilizer this year was worm castings, and I have been very, very pleased. I have not used worm castings in the past, and I am extremely pleased. Squash have done great. We had a storm last night, and so they got blown around in the wind pretty bad. Matter of fact, they look a lot better than I thought they would today. These took it kind of hard, but they'll bounce back. They're doing good, and the tomatoes are doing great. Of course, I like to plant determinate tomatoes, and I used to plant indeterminate tomatoes for a long time, and I found determinate tomatoes to be just so much easier to deal with, work with. I would have indeterminate tomatoes that would be 8 feet tall, and that was tough to deal with. I really like these. These are Celebrity Homestead and Red Bella Rosa. What's all the racket about? What's all the noise about? Well, back to the garden. The tomatoes are looking good. Oh yeah, did I say that was Bella Rosa? Bella Rosa, which we really like. The potatoes are looking good. These are red Norland potatoes, and they are just about ready to harvest. They have done well in the raised beds this year. I have a situation with the raised beds this year. Actually, it's been a situation the last couple of years, but I didn't know until this year what the problem was. And the problem was this tree, that poplar. Its roots had found an oasis up here in my raised beds, and these raised beds were filled. And when I say filled, I mean filled with roots from that tree. And I wasn't even thinking about those roots being in here, but you think about dry weather and you keep these watered and fertilized, and that tree had found literally, like I said, an oasis up here. And so I took a shovel and I dug every square inch of these raised beds, and they're pretty deep, and I chopped off down in the ground every one of those roots, and there were many of them, and wow, what a difference it made. Same thing down here. So if you have a large tree near your kitchen garden, just know that those roots will find that kitchen garden and they will love it. Yeah, this is a pretty tree. It's a huge tulip poplar, and it gives lots of nice shade right here by the house, but it's two problems. It's too close to the house, for one. It's already starting to get out over the house, and it's too close to the kitchen garden. And so it really needs to go. I love trees, and I've cut a lot of trees this year, as you can see. And I'll share in another video what we're going to do with those trees soon. I have quite a situation down here in the lower garden. I have okra planted, Star of David and cowhorn okra, and over here I've got the contender bush beans, and purslane has taken over the garden even before the plants, before my vegetables could get sprouted good. Last year some purslane showed up down here, and I was kind of pleased to have it. Actually, it was just around the edges of the garden, and this was the corn patch, and like I said, the corn did great. And well, the purslane this year, as you can see, has taken over. This was just clean, looking good right after I planted. and I'm looking for some okra. There is some okra. I think this is the Star of David coming up in there amongst the purslane. You can see the little plants. Of course, the purslane will stay pretty low to the ground. It doesn't get very tall, and so I'm hoping that the okra will just outgrow it, and then I can come in and bring the wheel hoe and cultivate, move that out, clean this up a little bit in the hoe, and let the okra take over. Let the okra take off. There's some more okra, but the purslane is literally taking over down here. I've never seen anything like it. Now, purslane is edible. You can make salads with it or put it in salads. The stems are kind of have a little spicy flavor. It's actually not bad. It's got a lot of flavor to it. Just in case you're thinking I'm pulling your leg about this purslane, whether it's edible or not, Dolly D's having a good time down there. Actually, this is pretty good. Yeah, it tastes like a weed. But you know, actually it's not good. It's better than some salads I've had. I've had some salads where I didn't know what the leaves were, where they came from. Some real fancy dishes, and I tell you what, it's kind of, I don't know, it's reassuring to know that I can just come down here and pick some weeds and have something to eat. And I think they're high in nutrition. Hey, yeah, put a little ranch dressing on that and you're good to go.